Guys, we've reached a new low point. I didn't think this would happen, but we're here now. And what I mean by that is that usually on this channel what we do is we look at maybe unusual lights in the sky or oddly shaped aerial vehicles that fly around that people film. We try to make sense of them. We try to identify them, try to find the best evidence that would justify them. And sometimes it's reflections, sometimes it's kites, right? Sometimes it's drones, sometimes it's just CGI. But we had so many different explanations of these objects that people are filming around the world. And to be honest, I can't even judge these people, right? Because we are not pilots. We don't work for NASA. We're not trained observers that would be good at identifying unusual objects in the sky. It is very understandable that a lot of people get out their phone, film something and say, what the heck is that? That makes no sense to me. So when it comes to the cases that we normally look at, as much fun as I make about them sometimes, I can understand where people are coming from, and it is somewhat relatable that people can't identify them. But for the past 24 hours, something else is going on. It's wild. I've never seen anything like this in my life before, so I want to break it down for you guys. And just a quick disclaimer, I guess. Already in yesterday's video, I broke down in quite excruciating length these drone incidences, right, over military bases. So if you haven't watched that video, I would recommend you to go check it out because it gives all the detail. I speculate about what these drones might actually be. I analyze some of the footage. I talk about different sized drones and all the information that we currently have about these drone incidents. I digested in yesterday's video. So I'm not going to do this again in today's video. Go check out yesterday's video if you're interested in that. Now, let me be clear. Some of these objects that we're currently seeing over military bases, US military bases on US soil as well as UK soil, are not planes. They are small unmanned vehicles. We don't know what they are, but we know from the way they move and how they behave in the sky that they are not airplanes. All right, we have plenty of videos and we looked at some of them in yesterday's video where we can clearly see these are not planes, whether they're drones or UAVs or whatever they are, whether they are hobbyists that put them up there or the military themselves or it's trolling, whatever. There are different theories about it. It doesn't matter. Point is, some of these vehicles are drones, and we know it because, for example, the Pentagon just an hour ago uploaded a whole press briefing. And this is on Forbes breaking news. I'll link the video down in the description. The title of the video is Pentagon holds press briefing after a series of drone incursions against US military bases. So not only has it been acknowledged by the Pentagon, they're also doing press conferences about it now. I've watched the whole thing. It takes 30 minutes. It was an incredible waste of time, not gonna lie. Because basically this guy's just saying, we're not saying anything about anything and we have no intent of saying anything about anything. Thanks guys, have a good day. That should have been the press briefing. You could have done that in under 10 seconds, but they stretch it out to 30 minutes. So I don't even recommend you to watch it. But in the last 24 hours, since I recorded my video yesterday, an interesting phenomenon has taken place. And that is that more and more people come forward, share videos of objects that look like planes, that behave like planes, that sound like planes, and they claim these are not planes. These are I don't know, they are military experimental drones and so on. I want to share some examples with you guys because it is mind-boggling. And then afterwards, I want to speculate why this is happening, why people believe that something that is clearly a plane can't be a plane. All right, we're going to do that speculation afterwards. We're getting tweets like this one. New details. This S is getting wild. Apparently, these are not planes. They are drones that look like planes. They were seen over a nuclear test site in Nevada, are all over New Jersey, and are even buzzing the houses of the FBI agents sent to investigate them. They have been observed stopping and turning in mid-flight and are flying close to the ground for hours on end. There are 3 possible scenarios as we can fully rule out conventional drones. Option 1, these are UFO from inner or off Earth. 2, these are projections from the system we are in. 3, these are Chinese or Russian military. The third point I covered in yesterday's video. I went into quite a bit of detail. What speaks for potentially them being adversary forces, right? Like other governments like China or Russia positioning these objects over these bases. So check out yesterday's video if you want to learn about that. And it is accompanied by these images that you see here. These are planes. These are 150% planes. I did this exercise yesterday already, but in case you haven't seen the video, I mean, this is an airplane filmed from the ground at night. I've brightened it up slightly so you see the fuselage slightly better, but there's just no doubt. There is no doubt about it. I said it yesterday already, but you can even see the engine there. And you might say, well, okay, there's one guy. I mean, he misinterprets these objects as planes, right? It's just a single guy. No, it's not. It's become a whole movement. Here we have Michael Johnson PhD. And obviously I can't check whether he actually has a PhD, but he tweets, "Another night of drones in New Jersey. We saw a huge fixed wing jet plane at a few hundred feet, the size of a truck, in Reddington, New Jersey, off Coddington Road, as well as smaller drones over Branchburg." And he shares this video. In case you don't know, okay, like a fixed wing drone is like a drone that just, it's not like a quadcopter. It doesn't have the propellers like other drones. It's something that looks a little bit like that, right? To give you a rough idea. So it is somewhat inspired by the shape of an airplane. But bro, this is an airplane. This is 100% an airplane. The light on the fuselage, the blinking lights on the end of the wings, the collision light blinking in the center being red. It's a plane. This is just a plane, and you're probably near an airfield. Here you have people, and this guy claims to have a PhD, making seemingly completely unreasonable claims of these objects not being planes and being drones or whatever, fixed-wing drones.
What?
That's another one. Clearly not an airplane. Okay, this is clearly not an airplane. The tweet is just titled "Tonight's Drones." I'm in northern Somerset County, and 4 to 5 super quiet drones have been all over the neighborhood and town. Here's another one. Listen to the sound.
Another drone. I mean, they're silent.
You can literally hear the sound. You can literally hear the airplane sound, the engines, bro. I mean, they're silent. Quick video from a drone over Morris County last night. Is it Russia? Is it aliens? Is it nerds playing with toys? Glad he cut there before he dropped the F-bomb. Another great one. Hashtag UFO, hashtag UAP. More footage of the New Jersey drones. Highlights. Tight turning radius. It's not a plane. Bro, it's hashtag it's not a plane. Let's check it out.
We shouldn't be outside for this.
Jesus Christ, help me, bro. So I guess the point he's trying to make about the tight turning radius, or she, if it's a woman, it sounds like a woman talking if she uploaded it, is in the beginning, right? It looks like the plane is like turning too fast. It doesn't make sense. But what it really is, it's just this person following the object with the camera right overhead and then doing a motion like this, which obviously makes it look like the object is turning. The object is not turning. This object flies in a straight line. You know what I mean? This is just the camera turning. So it's just an optical illusion that looks like the object is irrationally spinning and having this really tight turn radius. It doesn't. It's just another airplane. And, you know, very characteristic of an airplane, these elongated stripes that you see here, which are basically the floodlights in the front, highlighting the body of the plane, right? The lights blinking on the wings, the red collision light in the center there. It is 150% an airplane. And on top of that, it sounds like an airplane as well. Like, if you listen to the sound of this clip. I mean, this video we looked at yesterday already. And they're like, yeah, this is definitely not a plane, right? It's exactly that. It's just a plane. It's extremely clear. But you have all these people who claim it is anything but a plane. And it goes on, okay? It doesn't stop. There are so many posts of this. It is wild.
What is this, dude? He's driving home.
Listen. How does that sound?
This thing is freaking huge.
Can you see it? Can you see it? The fuselage, here's the engine, here are the two wings. The lights perfectly match up to it just being a plane. But the dude's like, what is it? I'm just driving home and this thing, oh my God, it's huge. Do you see this? You can even see the wings. You can make the shape out perfectly. It behaves like a plane. It flies like a plane. And it even makes the noise like a plane, right? Like,
home.
this is how a plane sounds.
This thing is freaking huge.
Right. It's freaking huge.
This This is a video of the Morris County drones with characteristic triangle lights on the back.
And with lights that are blinking to comply with FAA regulations because, very important stuff for all these drones that, I don't know what they are, alien in origin or hobbyists or trolls or foreign governments. They still want to make sure that they're complying with the air regulations, okay? Like, we got to make sure it's in regulations because, yes, it's illegal. We're infiltrating military airspace illegally. We might get arrested for this, but at least the drone has the right light configurations. You can actually hear the propellers in this video. It's an older plane. It's a slightly older plane. You hear this, right? So that's where we're at now. This is where we are at. People are so desperate in wanting to see something unusual, right? Something alien, something drone-like, because everyone talks about those drones, that they start to film anything that's in the sky and act all confused about it. And obviously a lot of people in the comments are pointing out, bro, it's just a plane, okay? Because not everyone has lost their mind, okay? There are still some people who are somewhat sane in this world. I know it's hard to imagine looking at the stuff and imagining that some people are still sane. Well, we got to come up with something. If people say these are planes, they look like planes, behave like planes, sound like planes, we need something. So you get tweets like this one. Someone says, oh, come on, man, these are clearly airplanes. Michael Johnson, PhD, says, no, they stop in midair and then change directions. The one that looked like an airplane stopped in midair. Okay, do they come and go or do they stick around for a while? They tend to keep moving, but they stop and move erratically. It's funny because that video we saw, none of that was happening. They behaved exactly how airplanes behave. So do you have anything that would underline that claim you're making here? You know the answer to that. It's a giant building size, trust me, bro. Okay, I've seen them. I've totally seen them stopping midair and changing direction. They look like planes, but they stop midair. Right. Of course they do. Of course they do. So here's an example of lights on an airplane, a Boeing 737 in this particular example, but the constellation or the layout of these lights is pretty much standardized. You have that light in the middle. You have those lights on the end of the wings. One is red, one is green, as we've seen in most of these videos. You also have lights underneath the wings that light forward, okay, that cast somewhat of a light cone in front of the airplane. Pretty much like you see it in this video here, right, which obviously is also a drone. It's not an airplane, guys. Just be aware, this is absolutely not an airplane. It's drones. But, I mean, these central floodlights shining forward, creating a cone of light in front of the plane. That's how this works. And these two light stripes, right, these illuminated stripes, that's basically the body of the plane being illuminated by those headlights. Another example. This tweet is titled, okay, what WTF is going on? Same one that people all around New Jersey have been seeing tonight. There it is, guys. It's not a plane. It sounds very much like a plane. It has the exact perfect layout that a plane would have in terms of lights. But guys, let's be honest, it's a drone. I mean, they're faking those drones. They tried to make the drones look like planes, okay? They're fooling with us. They want us to believe they're planes, but we all know better. We know these are drones or some kind of mysterious object hovering over our airspace. This is the lowest I've seen the drones in New Jersey flying over our neighborhood. This is in Flanders, New Jersey, near the Flanders Valley Golf Course. If any news outlets want to use this or reach out, my DMs are open. My family have been seeing drones in our town for almost 2 weeks. There it is. Okay, this one doesn't have sound. How did we get to this point, guys? What happened? I made videos about targeted individuals in the past, right? These are people that hear voices and they show all the symptoms of paranoid schizophrenia, right? It's exactly that. They hear voices that speak to them and they think someone breaks into their apartment and moves objects around at night or while they're at work, and they have like clear signs of paranoid schizophrenia. All the signs are there. It is obvious, yet these people can't acknowledge that. These people think it is some shady agency that's using beam weapons and puts voices in their head and has a whole team sitting there. A whole team is just there to work on them, drive them crazy and put voices in their head, right? They've abandoned all sense of reality and reason within their argument of being targeted individuals. It's fascinating. I would recommend you to Google this because I think that's what we're seeing here. And someone commented on yesterday's video. I want to read out the comment because I think that comment really summarizes it really well. The comment came from EM Frankfurt, and he said, I'm pretty sure it's more a psychological effect, similar to mass hysteria. People are now primed to look for weird lights in the sky, obviously, because all the news outlets are like, God, the drones, everywhere are drones, look up in the sky. So more focus leads to more sightings. My guess is that there are always loads of strange things in the sky at night, and military personnel and other people just don't notice it. But now that everyone is on high alert, everything becomes a drone or UAP. And I think that hits the nail on the head. That's exactly what's currently going on. That's why we have so many seemingly sane people, right? I'm not saying they're all mentally ill, but they are clearly delusional in their observation of what's flying over their head. Like I said, looks like a plane, sounds like a plane. It has all the characteristic of a plane, the way it moves, everything, the lights, every single thing. They've seen planes before, yet somehow in their head, it becomes more than a plane. And it's these drones. It is part of this big mystery. And I'm sharing this now. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these people might be grifters, right? Some people are like, yeah, okay, I just want to get 10,000 clicks on TikTok, so I'll share this video, claim it's a drone. Oh, I'm in New Jersey, check this thing out, it must be a drone. Loads of other semi-delusional people pick it up and swallow it. They're like, oh yeah, I've seen it too, and so on. It becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a psychological ripple effect that stems from the fact that everyone is currently on edge about drones being over all these military bases. It's insane. And it says a lot about the society that we're living in. It feels like, with all this garbage going on, that we're collectively losing our mind. People are losing their mind. Because not all of them are grifters. Some people genuinely believe this. Some of them genuinely believe that these things they are seeing are Russian or Chinese spy drones. They're planes, bruv. We've seen them our whole lives. You should know they are planes. And if you can't identify a plane that flies as low over your head as some of the planes in these examples that we just looked at, then, dude, you should really get checked, man. Honestly, I think some of these people should really, really get their head checked. Because it's not normal, dude. This is not normal. Okay, if you're an adult person and you think some of the images that we just looked at, I mean, you saw it with your own eye, right? The films that we see here, they're still garbage, potato quality and all that. But if you stand in your backyard and you see a plane flying overhead and you think it's some kind of adversary drone from the Russian government, dude, search help, okay? Tell this to a psychologist or someone, honestly. And I don't mean this offensive. I know a lot of people are going to be offended by this, but bro, that's not healthy. It's not healthy. And to be honest, as someone who looks at UFOs, who looks at, unusual lights, odd aerial vehicles, whatever you want to call it, right, and tries to analyze them, that we reach this point shocks even me. I'm sitting here in absolute confusion and desperation, thinking like, how did we get to this point? This is insane. We're reaching truly insane levels, and from all the videos we just looked at, it seems like it's a fairly widespread phenomenon, right? Because even if you read some of the replies, everyone's like, yeah, I've seen them too. It's not that everyone, like 90% of people are like, dude, it's a plane. Some say it, but then they come back and say, yeah, because they stop in the middle of the air. I don't have videos, just trust me, but they stop mid-air and turn around, and it's like, oh my God, how did we get here? Maybe that's something you guys can let me know down in the comments. How did we get to this point? And where can we go from here? Honestly, I'm almost at the end of the line with this. It's wild. It's wild. Leave your thoughts on all this down in the comment section below. If you think all the objects we just looked at are aliens or Chinese drones, and they're definitely not planes, and I'm interested to hear from you to an extent. I'm curious to hear from all of you guys. What do you think? What is this? What's going on at the moment? Share your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks for taking the time. I hope you have a good day wherever you are. Please take care of yourselves. Subscribe, smash like, and I'll see you in the next one.